So since the initial read-through and workshops, we have made huge changes to the structure of the work, to the writing of it, and a whole score has been created around that initial libretto. So the next stage now is to design the show and cast the production, and then we start rehearsals.
So the airport scene is a really big opening number, and it's called What Do You Think of New Zealand? And essentially, should we talk through this scene? So we go through customs, and what the joke is that the people in the airport are constantly asking, what do you think of New Zealand, before they've even basically landed, because we're so obsessed about how we perceive it. It's a very energetic, big sort of statement.
We would write lyrics and ideas and then try to get them to work rhythmically.
And rhyme.
And be funny, and we'd put punchlines in, we'd have to have a feeling for the scene, how is this supposed to go. I know we've been followed.
We've been hunted down.
But we've finally made it.
To New Zealand's most magnificent town. Mata mata. We're finally here in the city of dreams. Mata mata. Rolling hills and Hammerty scenes. Mata mata.
And this is what I think Amanda and Livy have captured so beautifully, is the sort of self-satisfaction of New Zealanders. And by the expression of that, we see the funny side of it.
It's just fully infused with New Zealand inside jokes and all of the stereotypes and how we all love cheese boards and stuff.
Wow, cheese. Cool. I noticed you can pronounce Gorgonzola, but not Manaya. Anyway, what about a piece on hate crimes?
This is not the spin-off.
First time hearing it sung sort of since whenever the last workshop was, like May last year or something. So to hear it sung for the first time is amazing. Nerve-wracking, because it's like I'm wearing two hats. So I'm conducting, but I'm also but they're singing my music. So this is basically bar 222, and. So I'm like, what if I don't like it? It sounds weird, but it's like once you start cooking, it's not until you taste it do you realise how good the recipe is. But that's what happens with the new work, is that you put it in front of people and you see how it flies.
We knew that right from the start we had to have someone be the conscience of New Zealand.
So we wanted a Māori woman to be front and centre of the opera. It's a very Pākehā world, historically, opera, not just in New Zealand, but overseas.
I think this is one of the first roles in opera that has been written for a Māori character.
Hey, Mike, I was wondering if you had a chance to talk. My pay review is coming up, and
We put a journalist at the heart of it because...
We originally went with detective and it didn't work.
But also because of the role that the media played.
Correct.
In the actual story, there needed to be someone who was driving it, pushing it, someone who should be accountable for it but is not ultimately accountable for it. Necessarily, it had to have journalism.
The media was one of the biggest characters in the entire story, like in the real life story, not in our opera. Like that, it wouldn't have been a story. We wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for the media. That it had to be a big character in here. There's no emerging good and bad people. Everyone sucks.
It's real life. It's not a fable.
Yeah.
A couple of practical things today. We're planning on taking an archival recording, and I'm hoping that everyone's okay with that. It's really so that we have a good quality recording, so that Luke, Livy and Amanda can listen to it properly.
We have Jenna Ford Leland playing Margaret.
The matriarch was one of the most interesting characters to us.
I'm just exhausted. My feet are aching. I'm tired of this holiday.
Margaret she's a really good organiser. She keeps her tribe close. As long as your family culture is working well, you're happy. So she's a powerhouse. And she loves a drink. Or 10.
Jennifer is an absolutely amazing performer. And one of the things that I wanted to achieve with this project was have a real mixture of opera singers and musical theatre singers to provide opportunities right across the board for people to get involved with opera. This isn't just about the writers and the composer. This is much broader than that. This is also the cast and the venue and all the people working on this project.
We have seen the staging, and it looks amazing.
I was very apprehensive about what the staging was going to look like and how the thing would be played out. When Thomas said he wanted to put it in the round.
So in the round means there's like a stage is in the middle in a circle and everyone sits around it. And most times when we go to any kind of show,
It's end on.
They're on a stage at the end, everyone watches it from one point of view. And it was quite confronting to get the idea of how that would work, having people sitting behind people when they're trying to sing and talk and when there's movement and characters.
I was very ready to have a panic attack about it.
She panic attacks over everything.
You do. But the staging director, the creative director is...
She's amazing.
Amazing.
Tracy.
Blew us away.
This is really amazing, a really amazing interpretation of this space, because this is an end-on theatre space.
Proscenium theatre, which is end-on theatre, so you're in a big room with a whole lot of people, there's a stage at one end, and there's a wall with a big opening in it that separates the stage from the audience. And that wall is the indicator for what we describe as the fourth wall in the theatre. So when an action or an audience member penetrates that fourth wall, it's about moving from the stage to the auditorium or back again.
You know, what I love about this, I absolutely love about this, is that the audience is right in the centre of things.
Yeah.
It's about us.
Yeah.
It's about the New Zealand audience. Because after all, this is a story that happened in living memory to this audience. They were all part of it. And I didn't want them to sit end on in judgment of the Unruly Tourists in particular. I wanted them to have a different point of view so that they understood that this wasn't just, this wasn't remote from them, something that they could sit back and judge, but that they were part of.
And for all the people who've gone, well, it's not my thing, fine. There are another huge group of people who go, that sounds really intriguing, never been to an opera before, but let's do this. I'm going to go. And so I've had so many people say, I bought my first tickets. Now, these people have never gone to opera before. And I think they're going to have a damn good night in the theatre. Plus, it's full of incredible singers, beautiful music, and it's very witty.
I hope everyone just has a good time. I hope people go along with their friends and they laugh and enjoy it and then be like, that was funny and that was good. What else is New Zealand Opera going to come out with next? Why don't we see something else? Like, that's what I like. Yeah, there's deep things I want, but on a surface level, I hope people have a bloody good time and enjoy it and laugh together with their friends around a table.
There's nothing more New Zealand people like than seeing something about us.